Sunrise over mountains or a city skyline. A person standing at the edge of a cliff or hill, looking forward with determination. Quick shots, people tying shoes, opening a notebook, stepping out a door, or looking at a goal board. Uplifting, cinematic music begins softly. What if it works out? Not what if you fail, not what if you make a mistake, but what if it actually works out? Imagine a life where your dreams don't stay in your head, where every step you take, every risk you embrace, leads to growth, opportunity, and success. Today, we're going to explore a mindset that transforms fear into possibility, hesitation into courage, and doubt into unstoppable action. The person at the cliff takes a deep breath and starts walking forward. The camera pans up to the rising sun as the music swells. Text overlay, what if it works out? This isn't just a thought, it's a way of living. And by the end of this video, you'll see your challenges in a completely new light. Close-ups of people deep in thought, journaling, or meditating, shots of someone training, running, or studying late at night, people celebrating small wins, crossing finish lines, finishing projects, or achieving milestones. Soft, inspirational music builds slowly. Everything begins in your mind. The way you think shapes the life you live. Your mindset determines whether you see obstacles or opportunities. Most of us ask, what if I fail? And that single question stops us from moving forward. Fear becomes the chains that hold us back. But what if we flipped it? What if instead you asked, what if it works out? That one question changes everything. Suddenly, fear turns into hope. Hesitation turns into courage. Doubt turns into action. Person looking at a blank notebook and beginning to write ideas. Someone stepping onto a stage or into a gym for the first time. Animated text on screen, what if it works out? Your mind is like a garden. If you focus on fear, worry, and what could go wrong, that's what grows. But if you plant seeds of possibility, hope, and belief, your life transforms. Every thought you nurture has the power to shape your reality. Research shows that people who visualize success and focus on what's possible are far more likely to take meaningful action. And every action, no matter how small, creates momentum. That momentum compounds, opening doors you never thought possible. Time lapse of a city waking up. A person climbing a hill or mountain, reaching the top. A sunrise illuminating the horizon. So today, choose to ask the empowering question, not, what if it fails, but, what if it works out? Start seeing the world not as a place full of obstacles, but as a playground of possibilities, waiting for you to take the first step. Montage of historical figures, inventors, and athletes failing or struggling, e.g., Thomas Edison, Michael Jordan practicing shots, entrepreneurs at empty offices. Close-ups of frustration, crumpled papers, or abandoned attempts. Transition to breakthroughs, inventions working, goals achieved, celebrations. Music has a reflective, slightly tense tone that builds into uplifting crescendos. Failure. We fear it. We avoid it. We think it's the enemy. But what if I told you that failure is actually your greatest teacher? Every person you admire, every success story you've ever heard, is built on countless failures. Imagine Thomas Edison giving up after the first 100 attempts. Or Michael Jordan quitting after being cut from his high school team. Or a young entrepreneur walking away after the first failed pitch. None of them would have achieved greatness if they let failure define them. A person trying, falling, and then getting back up repeatedly. Close-up of hands sketching ideas, erasing, and sketching again. Text overlay, every failure is a step forward. Failure isn't defeat. It's feedback. Every mistake shows you what doesn't work, so you can discover what does. When you embrace failure, you stop fearing it, and you start learning from it. You start growing. You start moving forward. And here's the key mindset shift: instead of asking, what if I fail, ask, what if it works out? Suddenly, failure becomes just another step on the path to success. It's not a dead end, it's a stepping stone. Time lapse of a person practicing a skill every day, gradually improving. A scientist celebrating an experiment that finally works, athlete hitting the winning shot after repeated practice. Every breakthrough begins with persistence. Every victory is born from setbacks. Failure is the raw material of achievement. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't isn't luck, it's the willingness to fail, learn, and try again. Person standing at the top of a mountain after a long climb, looking triumphant. Slow motion of someone opening a door labeled opportunity. So the next time you stumble, fall, or face rejection, remember this: each failure is a sign that you are trying, that you are growing, and that you are on your way. Ask yourself instead, what if it works out? Let that question turn your fear of failure into a fuel for unstoppable progress. Most people spend their lives trapped in the question, what if it doesn't work? But the moment you flip that question to, what if it works out, everything changes. You stop fearing failure and start seeing possibilities. That simple shift in mindset can open doors you never imagined and give you the courage to take action toward your dreams. Every great journey starts with a single step. You don't need to have everything figured out, you just need the courage to begin. The right time doesn't exist, you create it. Every small step forward builds momentum, and every act of courage brings you closer to the life you've always wanted. Surround yourself with people who believe in you, who lift you higher, who remind you of your potential when you forget it yourself. Positivity is contagious, let it shape your mindset, your energy, and your life. When you fill your world with light, there's no room for doubt or fear. Failure isn't the end, it's the beginning of learning. Every mistake you make teaches you something new, sharpens your skills, and prepares you for success. Don't let failure stop you, let it strengthen you. Every time you fall, you're one step closer to rising stronger than before. So, ask yourself, what if it works out? What if this time, everything you've dreamed of starts falling into place? What if your courage inspires others? What if this is the moment your story changes forever? You'll never know unless you try. Believe in yourself, and take that leap. Fear has stopped more dreams than failure ever could. Most people never find out what they're capable of because they never take the first step. But fear isn't a stop sign, it's a signal that something meaningful is ahead. When you feel afraid, remember, fear is just excitement in disguise. Push through it, and you'll realize you were stronger than you thought. Life will never give you full clarity before you act. You'll never have all the answers. And that's okay. Growth happens in the unknown. The moments of uncertainty are where courage is born and character is built. So, instead of waiting for everything to make sense, take the next step anyway. What if that uncertainty leads you exactly where you're meant to be? Belief is invisible, but it's the foundation of every success. It's the quiet voice that says, try again. It's the fire that keeps burning when everyone else gives up. The world will reflect what you believe about yourself. So believe in your strength. Believe in your potential. Believe that your dreams are valid, and that you have everything it takes to make them real. The truth is, it's not just about reaching the goal, it's about who you become along the way. Every challenge, every delay, every setback is shaping you into the person capable of holding your success. Don't rush the process. Trust it. Because sometimes, the journey is the very thing that makes the outcome worth it. When you take action, you don't just change your life, you inspire others to change theirs. Your courage becomes contagious. Someone out there is watching you, quietly gaining strength from your journey. You may not realize it, but your story might be the reason someone else doesn't give up. Every day, you have two choices: give in to fear or give life to your dreams. The difference between the life you're living and the life you want lies in that single decision. Choose to believe. Choose to try. Choose to see what happens if it works out. You don't need permission to start. You don't need perfect timing or perfect conditions. All you need is this moment, and the courage to begin. Because the truth is, there's never been a better time than now. The longer you wait, the louder your doubts become. Act today. Act boldly. And let tomorrow thank you for it. Success doesn't happen overnight, it's built day by day, choice by choice, step by step. It's not about being fearless, it's about moving forward despite fear. It's about showing up on the days when it's hard, believing when no one else does, and holding on when most would let go. So, before you walk away from your dream, before you tell yourself it's too late, or too hard, or too uncertain, pause. Take a deep breath. Look yourself in the mirror and ask, what if it works out? What if this is the chapter where everything begins to change? You'll never know unless you try. People stepping out of their comfort zones, walking into a new job interview, signing up for a class, starting a business, athletes taking a leap, dancers performing on stage, entrepreneurs presenting pitches. Close-ups of determined expressions, hands gripping pens, feet stepping forward. Music shifts to an uplifting, energetic tempo, signaling movement and courage. Possibility without action is just a dream. To create the life you want, you have to take bold steps. The question, what if it works out, isn't just a thought, it's a call to action. Action doesn't mean giant leaps overnight. It means starting. It means taking that first step, no matter how small. Applying for that opportunity. Making that call. Writing that first page. Showing up even when you're afraid. Every action builds momentum, and momentum turns dreams into reality. A person writing ideas on sticky notes, then arranging them on a wall, someone practicing repeatedly until they get it right, a musician, athlete, or speaker, time-lapse of someone building a project or business from scratch. Every great success story began with a single step. Not a perfect plan, not a guaranteed outcome, just a step forward. Because the world rewards the brave, not the perfect. Not the cautious. But those who dare to say, I might fail, but what if it works out? Bold action means leaning into uncertainty. It means doing what others won't do. It means showing up when it's easier to stay in your comfort zone. And here's the secret: the more bold steps you take, the more confident and capable you become. Action feeds courage, and courage fuels more action. Someone opening the door to a bright new office or workspace, athlete crossing the finish line, smiling, person raising their arms on a mountaintop, victorious, animated text overlay, start. Step. Momentum. Success. So today, take that bold step. Start before you feel ready. Move forward even when fear whispers in your ear. Ask yourself, what if it works out, and then take action. Because every small step you take now is the foundation for the extraordinary life waiting for you. People laughing, collaborating, and celebrating together, mentors guiding students, friends supporting each other, teams achieving goals, inspirational environments, cozy reading corners, offices with vision boards, nature walks, music, warm, uplifting, and hopeful, building gradually to a motivating crescendo. You are the average of the people you spend the most time with. Your environment shapes your thoughts, your beliefs, and ultimately, your results. Surround yourself with positivity, with people who lift you up, inspire you, and challenge you to grow. Negativity, doubt, and fear are contagious. When you spend time with those who constantly focus on what could go wrong, it's easy to feel stuck, limited, or hopeless. But so is positivity. Courage, hope, and possibility are contagious too. Choose wisely who and what you allow into your life. Someone reading an inspiring book or listening to a motivational podcast. Close-ups of supportive friends smiling, high-fiving, or cheering someone on. A vision board with goals and dreams, slowly being filled in. Fill your environment with inspiration. Read books that lift you. Watch content that motivates you. Spend time with people who see your potential even when you doubt yourself. Let your surroundings fuel your courage, your creativity, and your belief that you can achieve more than you ever imagined. When you consistently expose yourself to positivity, you start asking a different question, not, what if it fails, but, what if it works out? It becomes natural to believe in your possibilities, to take bold steps, and to see challenges as opportunities instead of obstacles. A group celebrating a project launch, a student receiving a certificate, a team completing a marathon together, someone journaling their thoughts and progress in a quiet, sunlit room, sunset time-lapse symbolizing hope and growth. Your environment doesn't just influence your mindset, it defines it. Surround yourself with positivity, encouragement, and inspiration. Let these influences push you forward. And watch how your life begins to reflect the belief that anything is possible. Ask yourself, what if it works out, and let your environment make that answer louder than your fears. Montage of people achieving dreams, crossing finish lines, opening new businesses, embracing loved ones, sunrise or sunset over mountains and cities, symbolizing new beginnings. Slow motion moments of joy, triumph, and courage, music swells, emotional and cinematic, inspiring hope and determination. Voiceover/host, inspiring, powerful tone. So here's the question you need to ask yourself today: what if it works out? Not, what if I fail? Not, what if it's too hard? But, what if it actually works out? What if you finally take that leap of faith? What if you say yes to that opportunity you've been hesitating on? What if you truly believe in yourself and your potential? The truth is, your life could change in ways you never imagined, and it starts with a single thought, a single choice, a single step. Visuals: person stepping forward into the light, someone opening a door labeled opportunity. Close-ups of determined faces, hands gripping, hearts beating with courage. Everything you've learned in this video comes down to this: mindset, failure, action, and environment. Change your mind, and you change your world. Learn from failure, and you turn obstacles into stepping stones. Take bold action, and you create momentum. Surround yourself with positivity, and you lift your life to the heights you deserve. Time-lapse of city lights turning on, symbolizing endless possibilities, people achieving small victories that lead to bigger ones. A person standing atop a mountain, arms raised, wind in their face, triumphant. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Don't wait for certainty. Life is full of unknowns, but it's also full of possibilities. Ask yourself, what if it works out? Let that question fuel your courage. Let it push you forward. Let it remind you that you are capable of more than you've ever imagined. The only thing standing between you and the life you want is the choice to act, the belief to persist, and the courage to step into possibility. So take a deep breath, look forward, and ask yourself, what if it works out? Fade to inspiring text on screen, what if it works out? Slow fade out with cinematic music rising and ending on a hopeful, uplifting note. The future is waiting. And it could be amazing, if you let it.